So what do you do? This is a question we've all answered, mostly not too well. One of the biggest struggles that I faced initially since stepping off the corporate track to go on my own was thinking about a good one liner when people ask me, "So, what are you doing now?" To say something that people could relate to. It's a common struggle. Very few people have this nailed. A friend once commented to me that if you really want to refine your why, it's done best when you attend a wedding or a family function and you have numerous uncles and aunts asking you, "So, what do you do?" I talk about this when I run my sessions on personal branding within organizations and help teams to craft their jargon free, purpose driven human one liner. It could be that I share stories and examples that help leaders lead better. Or it could be that I help leaders and teams drive business outcomes, build a personal brand, and be more human at work through storytelling. For some, this grounding in purpose shows up during a crisis. Canlis Restaurant started in Hawaii in 1910 as a mom and pop shop. And then it transitioned into a fine restaurant which combined home recipes, the beauty and grace of Japanese hospitality, the intoxication of Polynesian cuisine, and the soul warming embrace of the Hawaiian people. Peter Canlis, who was one of the founding members, moved to Seattle in 1950 and set up the restaurant with his impossibly lofty strategy to build the most beautiful restaurant in the world. It endured many decades, and pre-COVID, it was one of the finest restaurants in the West Coast. Food and Wine magazines once called Canlis one of the 40 most important restaurants in the past 40 years. And during the pandemic, Canlis, the fine dining restaurant, converted itself into a drive-through. In the morning, they would serve bagels, and for the rest of the day, it was a burger stand. And they moved really fast. They did this whole transition in just about 15 days. Not only did they manage to retain their 115 employees, they also looked to hire more people at that time. William Canlis, one of the founding brothers, said, "What I love to do is to feed people. There is no ego in that." Fine dining is not about the butter knife or the design of the silver cold meat fork. For Mark, who's the other brother who works in the restaurant, fine dining is the most considered form of caring for people with food. So set aside all the artificiality, all the fanciness, all the importance, all the status, all the ego, and get back to the basics of what you do. You can move forward with your story if you consider the essence of what you do. And don't you wish you had a better answer to that question than just your job or your designation? So, what is the story that you can tell about what you do that's plain and basic way of showing your appreciation and caring for your customers and for your work? Do share in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you.